You're now tuned in to Hough Nation Sports. Buckle up. Welcome, everybody, to another Hough Nation Sports Timeout conversation. This time is in a category we call the Coach's Corner Chop It Up sessions, and we begin for the 2026 season with these are active coaches. We have a lot of legendary coaches that have been on the program, but our active coaches segment, and we begin with RidgeView High School's head coach in his 6th year, Coach Trey Howard. Thanks for joining me for a Timeout Convo, Derek.
Oh, Stacy, man, I appreciate it, man. You've been a good friend. Anytime you need me, I'm here, bro.
My man, I appreciate you, man. Likewise, mutual respect is what it's all about, brother. I'm close to the program because I live right here down the road. Kids went there, so I keep up with you guys, and because I cover Midlands football, I know that you guys play a typically brutal schedule. We're going to get into your 2026 season, but let's first start with, as I mentioned, your 6th year. Last year, year 5. What was your record? And we know you had a setback with your son at quarterback as well. So talk about a little bit how last year ended for you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it was different, man. We had a talented group. We really felt good about them. They had been working for a while, and we knew they were special when they were freshmen.
Yeah.
We finished the season 8-4. Where we are as a program is, I don't believe in cupcake schedules. I kind of learned throughout my coaching career that if you set yourself up by playing teams that you know you better than,
Yeah.
you disappoint yourself in the end. You always say, well, if I want to beat good teams and I want to be a championship caliber team, I got to go play championship caliber programs.
Right.
And we don't see ourselves as a blue blood program, but we see ourselves as a program that's talented with kids that can compete against the best. So we do the very best we can to schedule the blue blooded programs. Your Dutch Forks, your Sumters, your Northwesterns, just programs that if you go back 20 years, 40 years, they're top 5 programs. And we fast forward 20 years from now, 40 years from now, they're still top 5 programs.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we want to do.
Absolutely.
So, it was a challenging season because early on, good program. We did have a major injury at the quarterback position but I feel like the team was just so proud of how they competed. They never ducked their heads. And, there was a moment there where everybody probably said, well, this wasn't how we planned for it to go. And yet, we're sitting there every one of these games with an opportunity to win. And I think the kids learned so much about themselves. And we as coaches learned a lot about ourselves. There was a minute where obviously, I'm coaching my own child as well. And it matters to me because he matters to me. And I had to find a way to motivate myself.
Right.
And it was not hard because the kids they're just a special group and they deserved the same thing I wanted for him. And so, obviously we lost some tough games. We lost to Northwestern by 7. We lost to Dutch Fork by 7. We lost to Sumter by 7. We lost in the third round of playoffs to a really good Dorman football program that we actually beat in a jamboree, when we were full strength. So, I think those are the stories that you have that all of us have from our playing careers and our time as athletes.
Yeah. So 8-4. Now you're right. You played what out of those? You played what? Dork Fork ended up being a state champion. Northwestern ended up being a state champion. So you did run a tough gamut. Your son Trey Howard. We hadn't called his name, Trey Howard. Let's begin with the looking out for 2026 season. Your son Trey, now in his senior season, coming back off that. The toe broken on a foot, and again that Northwestern game early. First of all, generally speaking, what are some things you're looking for? You're excited about this 2026 team in general. What are you looking for that you're excited about the season?
Yeah, I mean they're a young group, so there's so much room for growth.
Yeah.
They're more talented than they probably realize. And they're coming in every day and they're doing the things we ask them to do. And so the growth that I've seen just since spring football, and the lessons that I know that are out there for them. I'm just excited to be along for the ride.
Wow, good stuff. So we're going to talk about your team position group by position group. Let's begin with the offensive. That young man we talked about, your son. I know it's going to be a tough season, a great, enjoyable season, but the last ride for you guys together. Trey Howard coming back for what is expected to be a senior season. It's going to be exciting. He has a couple of offers. Talk about his offers and what are you expecting from him this season?
Yeah, well, most recently he secured an offer from Savannah State, which is a Division II program and a conference I know a lot about, the SIAC, where I played ball at Morehouse,
Yeah,
and also Benedict is there and Allen is there.
yeah.
So you have to feel good about knowing. First of all, my family loves to go to Savannah, so if that's the school he chooses
It's a
to
good
go
place.
to, I don't think my wife would be too upset about it.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah.
honestly, I think she'll just pack up on Friday and go, and don't even worry about me,
Yeah,
right?
just be me. You have to catch up later.
Right. Yeah, and then early on is coming out of sophomore year, going to the junior year, he's able to secure a Georgia State offer, a Southern Miss offer,
Yeah,
a Tennessee, East Tennessee State offer. And we know the way the process works around here, man. We love you today, don't love you tomorrow, and
it's tough.
he's had to deal with some of those things, feeling confident that you've earned an opportunity, and then realizing that when things change, for you, sometimes those things, they change as well. So it's been a trial for Trey. The thing that I'm most proud of him about is he hadn't batted an eye. He hadn't ducked his head. He's gotten up every day and attacked that day, and done the best he can, do the best he can with the situation given to him. He's 100%. Today we had 11 on 11 practice versus Wilson, and I'm sitting here and I'm watching it, and he's running, and I mean he is running full
He's
speed.
moving well, huh?
So we're excited about what's in store for Trey. I mean, Trey, I keep telling him, it's more than football, and I think that his injury got him to realize that he's so much more than a football player. He is an outstanding young man. You've got a son, and sometimes it's good to see just how much better people than they are than you probably were at their age.
It's
And
amazing.
he's a
Yeah,
prime example of that. I know his mama would say that's all her side,
of
but
course.
I just think that he's been raised by two parents that love him, and he's
Yeah.
got. I'm not sticking my chest out. He's got a great dad that made sure to put him in some great situations
That's right.
for him to grow, and the Lord's kind of helped put him in some situations too, so that quite honestly, if something ever happened to Coach Howard, I feel good about his process, and he's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
I think last year was a part of that.
yeah, no doubt. Well, looking for big things from Trey. He's always a polite young gentleman every time I've been around him. So looking forward to seeing what he does. Now talk about your running back. You've always RidgeView is known to have good skill
Yeah,
players. Always have that. So talk about your running back room for the 2026 season.
yeah. Well, in that running room is that guy. Spencer Bobian. Spencer's a four-year varsity football
Yeah.
player,
Yeah.
and my expectations, and he's not too far. I think he's a little over 600 yards away from being Ridgew's all-time leading rusher.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Once again, we've been blessed, man. Our best football players are our best student athletes. Spencer was an honor guard for graduation. Spencer's well over 4.5 GPA kid.
Good stuff.
He comes from a long line of athletes coming out of Buford, and the thing with Spence, he should be one of those top backs in the state that you always hear about. There's so many other top backs.
Right.
We've got a kid that's special,
Right.
and he's been working, been camping, looking for
Yeah.
opportunities. He's a little shorter, a little lighter than everybody else. But somehow, these tough schedules, and this young man
Yeah.
has posted 2,000-yard seasons with over 10 touchdowns each year. We're gonna tote the load with him.
Okay.
We do have some guys behind him. Chris Capers is another kid that just trusted the process and
Okay.
been here for 4 years, and he'll get an opportunity to share some carries along with Spencer, and really be those two guys, with some younger guys in the background that we wait to see how they develop and what opportunities they receive.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I want to move. away from the skilled players now, which is a position I think is more skilled than they get credit for. Let's go to the offensive line. And you have a young man who recently committed to the University of South Carolina, but he ain't alone. You had a pretty good line all the way around. Talk about your offensive line up front that will be protecting Trey and Spencer and
Yeah,
those guys back there.
yeah. I tell you what, it starts with some really good coaching, and I'm gonna put this plug in here for my offensive coordinator Adam Gamble,
Okay,
who was South Carolina State Assistant Coach of the Year
that's right.
last year, was
Yep,
also RidgeView's Teacher of the Year last year, and quite honestly,
yep.
we still sitting around waiting for somebody to realize just how good a coach he is and give him an opportunity to run his own program. But Adam each and every year has made sure to get the most out of our student athletes, no matter how big or how small they are, no matter how strong or lack of strength they've had. He seems to always have been able to get the best out of them.
Yeah,
And so when it comes to a young man like James Ross, who's 6'4", 6'5", 295 pounds. Now, when he came to us, he was 340.
really.
Yeah, but that weight room and that work, he definitely put his body in the right situation. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people hadn't heard about James early on.
Right.
But then, once he got his body together and with an opportunity to get some good coaching from Coach Gamble, and well, now when he gets that opportunity to camp at Carolina, they're realizing that he's just as good, if not better, than some guys they had all high on their board. And
Wow.
so James was able to secure that offer over the summertime. And we know that James is a good, solid football player. He's first of all, he's smart, he's
Yeah.
athletic. He's on our varsity basketball team, which alone lets
That's
you
right.
know
Yeah.
the caliber of athlete that he is.
Sure.
So we're excited about him. But there are also some young men that are program guys that have been here since their ninth grade year and
Mhm.
have it's their time. And three of those gentlemen that I like to speak of, it starts with Jaden Dunton, who will be a right tackle, and Jaden's played wrestling. He was on a varsity team last year as an assistant, and Jaden, we just anticipate him doing the very best he can right there at right tackle. He's a competitor, and then Aiden Gorey is a plugger, big kid. That he's probably the leader of the group. Everybody said, well, James is probably the leader of the group, but everybody seems to gravitate to Aiden. And then Landon Green will be our center this year.
Okay.
And so those four gentlemen will lead a group, and then we've got a host of 10th graders
Okay.
that could honestly by the end of the year maybe we'd have two 10th graders starting just because of talent. But
Okay. Wow.
I'm gonna let the upperclassmen right now hold the court. So just excited about that group and Coach Gamble and what he's gonna do with that group.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So now we got to get out to a position that, and y'all know tight ends can work in there and out, but you can put them in the receiver group if you want. But Ridge, always has those horses in the stable out there out wide, man. So go ahead and run down the list of the talented wideouts you got, because I know a couple of them off the top of my head, but it's always more than I can remember. It's always more over there. So who you got?
Yeah, man, it's a plethora of talent on that side, and we're just proud of our ability to get kids in, no matter what the size of, what their skill set is, and just get them coached up and
Yeah.
get them doing well on the field so that their talents can be shown. Then they get opportunities to go other places after they graduate from high school. It's going to start with Christian Jackson. He's our leader. He's a 4-year guy. He can do it all. He's a wide receiver, but honestly, I think Chris could play anything that he wants to play.
Oh, wow.
We're excited about bringing him back for his senior year. He's leading the group. We have some guys that have come into the program that just love what we do and have come in and fit quite naturally. Isaiah Small is a kid coming over from Richland Northeast that's already committed to Mercer. And then Kanye Reed is a kid that honestly lives in our zone.
Yeah.
He went to some other schools and now he's at RidgeView
Right.
and as of today, has secured another offer from Wofford. So
Really?
so he's a FCS talent kid, and so those three kids are our seniors. But we've got some young talent behind them. Put this name out there, a young kid named Caden Garvin.
Okay.
who is a burner on the track. You know, a couple years ago, we had a kid named Jordan Gidron,
Who's in Carolina now,
play
right?
wide receiver that's at Carolina. And as a 10th grader, he burst on the scenes
He did.
because of what he did on the track.
Yep.
Well, Caden is nationally ranked right now coming out of his ninth grade year track. You
Well, y'all
know,
keep
at
him flying over to
200.
CP. Shout out to CP.
Yeah, well, coach, you know, we believe in. Look, he always say trust the process, but just let him know I believe in the process because
Yes.
it's been a great partnership.
Yep.
Just trusting him to work with our kids and him
Yep.
getting the most out of them, and then us putting them in situations to show what the football talent is. So, Caden Garvin's a kid that's going to be special. He's lightning fast, and so we're really excited about him. Tyler Mathis is another kid that Caden Garvin's nationally ranked. Well, this kid, posted a 10.6 this
Woo!
last track season, and just got faster and faster as the year has run on. And he'll just be a junior, you know. So those are five kids.
That's an embarrassment of riches,
That
coach.
Cool. Those are five kids that I know could probably start for any school in the state of South Carolina.
Wow.
And quite honestly, we've got another four that I'm not disappointed about putting out there. I know they can play high quality football. So we just been blessed. This is a community where the parents believe in playing the kids
Yeah.
young and put them in good programs, good Pop Warner programs, good middle school programs, and then they trust and they see what we've done. They've been willing to bring their kids here and allow us to coach them. I've had some great coaches, and I feel like we run a great system
Yeah.
that's not about touches; it's about quality touches.
I want to take time out for a moment to thank the sponsors that make it all happen here at Hough Nation Sports. I want to thank Rockamos and Rockamos.com. Fuel your glow from the sea below. Go to Rockamos.com for all of your CMOS needs. Of course, Alpha Insurance Solutions, LLC, for all your insurance needs. Reach them at 803-427-1327. Then, when it comes to real estate, for all your home buying and selling needs, it is Karen Alexander and her outstanding staff at SM Realty and Associates, LLC. The number 803-445-7185. The email KarenAlexander773@gmail.com. Once again, for all your home buying and selling needs, SM Realty and Associates, LLC. And want to thank GFHRsports.com. And NIL attorney can help you with all your NIL questions and concerns. Go to the website GFHRsports.com when it comes to NIL. And now, back to the episode.
So before we go to the defensive side of the ball, Christian Jackson, can you name some of his, off the top of your head if you can, some of his offers? Because he got some pretty big offers.
Yeah, man. So Christian, came out going into his senior year, man. Christian had over 25 D1 offers. So, USC had offered them, Virginia Tech, Boston College, Michigan State.
Wow.
Just so that kind of lets you know his talent. Right now his family, they're working hard to determine what's the right place for him. And
Right.
so we know that when that opportunity happens for him and they make their mind up, it's going to be somewhere we're going to be able to see him very easily. We can find where he is on a Saturday night.
On TV.
Saturday. Yes,
For
sir.
sure. For sure. That's good stuff. The offensive side of the ball looks to be ready for another big season. Now let's go to the defensive side, man. We'll go from the trenches back now. So start with your D line. You had some good size on that last year. I think you graduated some, but what are your what you looking like on the defensive front?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, my D line is where I return guys.
Oh, okay.
And so we had 38 seniors on our team last
Right.
year, and they really the defensive backfield, the offensive line, and then the mid level, the linebackers, where we really hit hard.
Yeah.
In terms of seniors, but defensive line is where we actually return a host of experience, and I need them boys to ball out. It's CJ Stokes is a guy and all three of these kids can play any of the positions we've got on defensive line.
Wow, got the versatility.
CJ Stokes is a young man that's played a host of football
What's his
for us.
second name again?
Stokes.
CJ Stokes. Okay, Stokes. Okay.
DJ Stokes, and he's a kid that is running sub 5. As a kid that's 6'1", 260, 270, so he moves well.
Athletic.
Yep, Garrison McElrath will be a 4-year guy for us.
Okay.
And Javon Holmes is a kid who he's a 3-year kid, but his sophomore year, family reasons, he had to move back south and live with his grandma. And then he came back.
Okay.
So those 3 young men, we anticipate them, you know, playing some big time football for us and making it easier. As the second level and third level, we're gonna have some guys that are kind of new
Right.
that we're gonna need them to grow up fast.
So that's that again, but I didn't realize that you had that kind of size and speed coming. That's at 260 moving like that. That's very impressive. So go to your linebackers as you mentioned. So you mentioned some of these guys who are going to be young on playing time, but maybe
Yep.
program or so. So who are these linebackers I know it might be the starters might not be set yet, but who are some linebackers in the mix?
Yeah. Well, a kid that has already garnered some offers, and he'll be probably one of our top kids coming out of that 2028 class is Raymond Jones. And Raymond could play wide receiver or tight end. He's fast enough to play wide receiver. He's big enough to play tight end. Could
Really?
play running back. He could play, safety. But for us, he's going to be our inside linebacker, and he'd be the one with the green dot if we had the opportunity to do that. Smart
How
kid,
big
got
is
the
he?
size 6'2", 210, 215. He's already got some mid-major offers out there. Man, he's got 4 or 5 mid-major offers, and I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on some of those
Yeah,
schools.
yeah, yeah.
But over the summer, he's just done a great job of going around and being seen. And so
Okay.
excited about him. He'll lead that defense along with DJ Epps, who was a varsity kid last year, played some good reps for us, but he'll be a first-time starter. We got a kid that moved in, Kyler Fuller, moved in from Gray, and
Okay.
Collins could play running back. But he's out there playing field side safety for us. And then Cam Creighton is once again another senior that was a varsity kid for us last year. He'll be our boundary outside linebacker. And Cam man can bench the weight room.
He's
The
throwing.
entire weight room on a 190-pound frame.
He's like that.
I think his bench press is in that 315, 320
Ooh,
range.
that's strong.
So it's a young group, man, and in terms of experience, but man, they can move, and they're not afraid to play, and they fly around and they create a lot of energy.
Good stuff, man. So that's the midsection of that thing. You said some new guys, but they seem like they're might be up to the task. You got some size and speed and athleticism in that group. So another position you were really talent rich in it the last couple of years as well, the defensive secondary. You graduated a couple of guys out of there, I think, that went on. I know at least one guy that went on to play in college. So well, who you got holding down the secondary spots?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna name one name, and I think you'll know what kind of talent we're dealing with when I name it. We do have one returning starter at safety, Kingston
And
Lucas.
that's my guy, Aaron Lucas's son.
Aaron Lucas's son.
Yes, sir.
So
Keith. Yeah.
Kingston will be our lone returner, and he'll lead that secondary group. And Kingston has an Alabama A&M offer,
I didn't
and
realize that.
yep, and Kingston's done a really good job. I think he's going to end up being an FCS kid.
Okay.
They're just looking to see him do well.
Right.
In those first 3 games.
Right.
And then we got some last names that you've heard.
Oh,
Braylon Grant, his brother Quincy was
yeah.
one of our top corners last year.
Absolutely.
So the Grant family keeps giving. So Braylon will be a junior.
Okay.
And Quincy's issue, and we had a young man named Jordan Best last year that's now at North Carolina State that's
Yeah.
extremely talented, and
Yeah.
I love Jordan, but a lot of people would stop me and say, I feel like Quincy might be your best corner,
Wow.
and it's just
Wow.
that Quincy didn't quite have the measurables that Jordan had.
Right.
And another thing was, Jordan was a big time track kid guy that ran
Ab-
10.5, 10.6. Well,
Absolutely.
Quincy ran hurdles.
Okay.
And if Quincy was 100-meter runner, he'd be running 10.6s and 10.7s as well. But because
Right.
you run hurdle, and I tell you, you run 13, and
Right.
you're
Right.
like,
Right.
okay, you don't realize, right? So Quincy didn't have those measurables, but Braylon does.
Really.
So Braylon's almost 6 foot already as an 11th grader. And Braylon's got the same athleticism that Quincy has, and they some old country boys.
Yes,
And
sir.
so Braylon's tough. He loves to compete, and we're excited about him. List another name you've heard before, Ananias Thickpen.
Oh yeah,
Pastor Thickpen.
a lot of thick pins.
Yep, Pastor from right up on the top of the hill.
Ivory,
Yep,
yeah.
Ivory Thickpen, his son. Ananias has moved over from wide receiver over to safety, and we
Okay.
anticipate him doing well. Ananias is state ranked in running the hurdles in the 400 hurdle and the 110. So he'll be first time, on defense, but he's got the frame. Ananias is about 6'1",
Okay.
195, and really like what we've seen out of him.
Okay.
And then we got that other corner spot. We got some guys that are competing for it, but one of my guys that I hope gets that chance is Bijan Virgo, who was our starting quarterback the last 6 games of the season last year.
Sure was. I
So
thought he was a senior
Bijan,
last year. I forgot he had another year.
yeah, so Bijan, just wanting to put our best players in a situation to make plays for us. And obviously, with there being that competition at quarterback, he wanted an opportunity to find a spot that was his own. And so he chose to go over and compete at corner. And I think he's going to get an opportunity over there to play a lot of good reps. So, and we know he's won, playoff games for us. So, he's a competitor. So we anticipate him doing well.
Man, listen, that is a thorough and complete talented squad. I say we went all levels. You got talent at every level, coach.
Yes, sir.
And I know the schedule's tough. So in our last few minutes here, I want to ask a couple things. I'm gonna do the timeout part of the show and answer right now. So before I get to your schedule and your region, what is Coach Derek Howard in his 6th year at RidgeView, 20 plus years overall in the business, Morehouse former athlete, RidgeView former standout, married man, good, proud husband and father. What does Derek Howard do in his away time? I know you shared with me last week something you was watching on TV, but what else? What else you do to get away? What's your hidden talent or your hidden pastime to get away from football?
Man, look at I'm a big kid, right?
Yeah.
So I've been sitting here talking junk to these boys because I'm playing that college football 27.
Oh, you on that video game?
I'm on the game. Don't be don't laugh at me, Stacey. Look, I've been a gamer for a while, and I put it away when I came back to RidgeView. Man, COVID, the game got me through COVID, right?
Yeah, a lot of people
I put it away when I got the RidgeView job, and just sitting here trying to spend time with my son, and I picked the game back up. So I played the video game. I'm sure it aggravates my wife. She's probably so embarrassed. but I picked that up, and I can't wait for Madden to come out because this college football game is really good this year.
Hey, man.
I love the golf, man. I'm a golfer, man. If I could, I'd go every day.
I didn't know that because you and I have not played golf. I don't know.
Listen.
What you waiting on?
This is what I would tell you. All right. I'm not getting ready to shoot in the 80s or anything like that.
Me either.
But I don't lose a lot of balls.
Okay, you pretty straight then. You pretty straight.
See what I'm saying? That's how I tell people, like, and they go, well, what do you shoot?
Hey, I'm around 100.
I might shoot 105. I might shoot 92.
Okay.
Right? But what I don't do is I don't lose balls. And the only reason that I don't score better is because I don't practice a lot. I don't get a chance to play a lot because with my job, it just doesn't give me an opportunity.
Yeah, but you're competitive though.
I've had some times when I was an assistant where I would play a lot. I can get my scores, high 80s, low 90s, and still not practicing, but just playing a lot and not necessarily going to the range and doing a bunch of practicing. I don't spend a whole lot of money on it other than playing. So I'm not, look, I got single length clubs to keep it simple. One single length clubs, one swing to do it all.
Well, hey, I ain't better to keep it simple. Why complicate it? But you got two hobbies that keep you out of trouble.
Man, I'm a thinker. While I'm sitting here with all these different links, just give me one and just change the head on it. I'm good.
That's it. I ain't mad at that. But listen, you got two things: the video game keep you out of trouble, keep you home, and keep your mind clear, and golf. So I ain't mad. But we got to get out there. We're gonna say it publicly right here on the show. We got to play some golf, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
I hit you. I don't know. You so busy. I always assume you're busy, but we'll get out there.
Look here, you send out the invite and I'll make the rest happen.
There you go. Let's go. Let's do it, man. I didn't know you were golfing like man. I'm playing tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact.
Look here, I learned from Mitch Moulton.
But that's why I play. That's my guy.
That's how
right.
you know.
He's coach of the bitch, yeah.
That's
And me and
right.
Mitch both lefties, so we got the lefty thing.
I won't hold that against y'all. I won't hold
Hey,
that against y'all.
my driver right now, I bought off Mitch Moten.
Okay.
I
He
drive, yeah,
got enough of them.
I was thinking
He
yesterday. I
got
said I got to get
look,
another. Man, Mitch might have put some bad mojo on that drive. I got to get another one.
look, he got enough of them. I keep telling them stop buying stuff.
He does. Hey, when
That's the
you
reason
roll,
why it's game change. You keep buying something different.
that's right. That's right. But yeah, when you're rolling like that, I guess you can do that kind of stuff, man.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's good stuff, man. That's good. So that was our timeout portion. Found a little bit more about Coach Howard. So with that being said, Coach, let's get right into it, man. Your schedule last year, you mentioned you play with the big dogs. That's how you believe in. So talk about your schedule this year, and y'all did the classification change a little bit? It changed, didn't it?
No, it hadn't. We
Oh, it did not.
listen. We still a 4A school that's playing a 5A schedule.
Who's in
You
your
know,
region, man? I know it's tough. Who's in your
anytime that
region?
I love the high school league, and I know that they do the best they can to
Yeah.
put kids in the best situations possible. None of those decisions help Ridgeview.
Talk about the
I'm just
schedule.
being, I'm just, I'm just being honest, right?
I
So,
feel
so
you.
we, Ridgeview, our numbers are gonna fit right there in the top tier, the top part of probably what would be 4A. But
Which y'all
we,
are 5A.
this district is always based himself on being a district of choice. Every single high school is got a bunch of really good programs that are unique to its
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
And we've got some programs that have allowed us to get the very best student athlete, the very best student
Yeah.
into the school.
Right.
And with that being the case, whether they play football or not, they count as three. So although we don't have a whole bunch of magnet kids in our program, all of the magnet kids in our school are make us a 5A school.
Wow. But but you've had 8-4 ain't bad, right? 9-4, 8-4 ain't bad. So
Listen, I told my principal every time I tell with Dr. Matt, we can't run from it. It's what makes us who we are.
that's true. That's
It's
true.
what makes us who we are.
That's true.
And honestly, I have way more fun trying to beat these 5A schools than I would, if I were playing a school that doesn't have quite the same kind of talent that we have.
Absolutely. So name that region. Name that region for me.
So we're in. I want to say it's 5A region 5.
Yeah.
It could be 5A region 4. The numbers change so much, but we're in there with Sumter, and we got Blythewood and Spring Valley. We got Gray. So it's a 5-team region, and you really you want to know how hard it is to schedule. Well, you get put in a 5-team region, which means you only have 4 region games.
That's true.
Which means you have to find 6 non-region
Right.
games. And before we were in a 7-team region last year,
Right.
and so 6 games already given. I only had to find 4. Well, this time I had to find 6, and I'm telling you right now,
Who wants to play
say
Ridgeview?
what they want, but it ain't 6 teams in Columbia that want to play Ridgeview.
I believe
It
that.
just ain't.
I believe it.
So it wasn't easy putting that schedule together. We played those 4 schools. We played Sumter, we played Blythewood, which is our rival. We played Spring Valley as another rival. We played Gray, so excited seeing them, adding them to the region. But then, we start first 3 weeks, and it just is what it is. We start off with South Point, state
Woo.
champ. Then we play Dutch Fort, state champ. Then we go down to Oceanside, state champ.
First 3 games.
First 3 games, it is what it is. It didn't look like that when I started the schedule, but Coach Knox has always been nice enough to agree to play. And every year I call Coach, I want to play. I want to play it.
Is it at home? It's at home this year. It's at Ridgeview.
It's gonna be at home. It's our first home game. I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah, keep trying. Yeah,
We gonna keep working. Yeah,
we had y'all on our
because
cameras
I want my
last year.
kids to know how close they are or how
Yeah.
far away they are from being able to beat the best. And I think everybody wants to have that story of when they beat the best. And I ain't afraid, like Dutch Fork has proven that they are the standard. And I don't want to run from that. I want my kids to be able to see how close you are to being the best yourself or how far away you are from being the best. I think that's something everybody needs to know, and don't try and run from it and then hope that at the end you could compete with them.
Right.
You can't.
No, you
Gotta play them, right? So, but going in and, when we're a 4A program, we used to be in the Rock Hill region. We play South Point every year.
yeah, I remember that.
So, This is back when Perry Parks was the head
Yeah,
coach.
yeah.
And so, we're going to go there, and I got a good relationship with Coach Collins, and obviously they're talented. We're going to start the season off with them. We never played Oceanside, but as people would drop us, people would drop them.
Might as
And
well.
we would drop at least 10 times, schedule wise, which I told the kids is just a testament to the work that they put in, that people ain't begging to come play us, and that won't just
Right.
play us just because. They won't play us just because we right around the corner, and travel is easy. They much rather go travel and play somebody else. They have to pay
Right.
for that, which is fine.
I get it. And Oceanside you going to them or they coming here?
We're going to them. So
You going to
we go to
Charleston. You
South
going to the
Point.
Chuck.
Yeah, we actually, the way this season schedule went, man, I got 6 away games and we got 4 home games. And so I told my guys they want to play at home, they better win some games during the season so we can have some home playoff games.
Wow.
And we win the region, then we won't have to worry about that. We'll have our home playoff games from there. And so that's one of our goals is to win the region. But our other non-region games, we play Nation 4. Coach Bentley's done a good job going to, I think, his second year with those guys. So I know they'll be better, and we know they'll be competitive. We also play Rock Hill, which is studded out.
They're on the come up. I hear they're on the come up.
Yeah, on the come up, and then and we also play White Note. And so Coach Floyd is obviously, we know he's a winner, and we know he knows how to get guys ready to play their best brand of football.
Absolutely.
So, hey, it is what it is, on our schedule. It's I keep looking at all these top 10s and I'm like, how are you qualified to say what a top 10 team is, and how do you really know who's moved where? But all these top 10s I see, I'm looking, it's my schedule.
That shit is nothing but the RidgeView schedule. Just
look, it's my schedule. Yeah. So we can't run from it. We hope to do everything we can to stay healthy.
Yeah.
We've got good numbers. I don't know if we've got, what the depth looks like, but I know we've got good numbers, and we'll be able to put a competitive team out there each and every week.
That's a good point. To go back to something you said, I've always thought preseason top 10 and it's just conversation starters, because in college and high school, I was always like, you don't know, injuries, you don't know who's on the depth chart, you don't know who's transferring in. That was before the high school portal officially opened up. So I don't know how you know, because the dust hadn't settled yet, and you got some people have to sit out the first few games. So I don't know how you justify it, but it is good for conversation. It gets people talking, right? Create some excitement before the season, and give some people a starting point, I guess. But before I let you go, we get you out of here, Coach. I don't want to ask you to make any predictions or anything, but ask you what you're looking forward to in the season. What in your mind would make it a successful season for Coach Trey Howard, his son Trey Howard, in your final rodeo and RidgeView program overall? Is something, just a thing or two, that would make it a successful year for you?
I'm gonna start with growth. I've been telling them that from day one, for us to get better each and every week, and to be looking at a really good football team that gets the chance, that's earned the right to go into the playoffs and compete, and knowing that they can compete with any team that comes in front of them is always the goal. We want to be playing our best brand of football when it's cold. And maximizing our opportunity to do something that's never been done at this school, and that haven't been done in this school district in over 30 years. Is it 30 years? Well, in over 20 years, if you look at 2007 Blythewood, right? Which was a RidgeView roster.
See that? You said a little oops. Hey, I'm not editing that out. That's staying in. So.
Yeah, keep that in there, Coach. It is what it is. They know how it is.
A RidgeView roster.
But yeah, I want to see these guys grow. I want to see them get better. I'm going to cherish every moment, obviously, that I'm going to have with Trey and his senior class, because that's special, and it was what I wanted it to be. I did not coach him Pop Warner. I did not coach him in middle school, and I didn't even try, because I wanted those high school years to be something that was special between he and I, and nobody can take that from him. I even value that year we had last year, where I had an opportunity just to help him through a challenging time that only just made him better as a person. Only made him better as a person. So take advantage of those opportunities that are precious with that group, and just enjoy the fact that I get to coach at one of the best programs in the state of South Carolina. I appreciate my principal, Dr. Brenda Mack. She's a winner, and we
Absolutely.
know it, and you know it,
I
right?
go way
And
back
the
with that.
athletic director, Brian
Great
Rosefield,
people, great
and
guy.
all of the support and staff at RidgeView is what makes you successful. And what I've learned since my time at RidgeView is winning starts with administration. It does.
Absolutely does. No, it's a
You gotta
culture. It's
have people.
definitely it is a culture. And
Yeah, it's
Dr. Mack, we
about the
don't like me
culture. It's
dating
about
ourselves.
believing.
Yeah, absolutely. But Dr. Mack don't want me dating each other like this, but dating ourselves. But we've been friends since for 40 years. This year makes 40 years we've been friends. So
Yes, sir.
so that means that's what we got a little. But 1986, I met her.
She hired hers better than you do. She
Oh
did.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know 40.
Look,
I wouldn't think 40 looking at her.
no, she don't look her age. She don't look the same.
That's
I'm
right.
embracing it though. My dad,
There
made
you,
rest in peace, was gray in his late 20s. So I
there you
did good to
go.
hold off
Well,
for a
look
minute.
here. At least you got here still, man. Mine look like
Hold
he
on to
want
it,
to do
brother.
it. It
Fight the
looked
good
like he
fight.
want to do his own thing. So
Hey,
look, I
fight the good
admire
fight.
him for that one. Yeah,
Hey, hold on to it. Hold on as long as you can, brother.
that's right. Keep fighting the fight.
Absolutely. Coach Derek Howard, I appreciate you sharing some time, man, on
Yes,
Timeout
sir.
Convos with Hough Nation Sports. This won't be the last time you be on here, man. We got other topics to talk about. After football season, we'll come back and revisit some things as far as transfer portals, NIL, and high school, and especially your Morehouse experience. We get into some other
Yeah.
things down the road. But thank you for sharing about your 2026 RidgeView Blazer football team. I appreciate you, man, and thanks for being a part of the show, my good brother. Have a good rest of your time, and enjoy this last ride with your son, Trey, and your RidgeView team.
Thank you, Stacy. Anytime, man.
I
Anytime.
appreciate you, my guy. Have a good evening.
Yeah. All right, brother.
All right, brother.